I got stuff for you.
Holy moly. I need to get some snakes and release them around my house.
But they love eating people. They love eating kids.
These guys are the scientists of the supernatural, lecturers leaving lessons for inquiring laymen. They are applying the scientific method to a world that baffles science. They are the cryptids of the corn.
Every day that you open your mouth,
I know, right?
I'm more convinced that you're abducted by aliens.
No.
And it just stood up. I mean, it just like kept going and going. And she goes, what the?
These are idiots.
I was laughing reading this because I already knew how you would feel.
Idiot. What part of the story fits your balloon?
Well,
This isn't a UFO. But who else has big black wings and red eyes?
Batman.
Well, Mothman.
Oh yeah, Mothman.
Well, everyone, I think we know exactly what it is. So say it all with me. It was the sandhill crane.
Would you try it?
No.
You wouldn't eat it?
No.
Why?
Because they're probably toxic. There'd be a lot of poop in my pants. Seen a 6-foot alligator go swinging through the air and slam into a tree. Welcome back to Cryptids of the Corn podcast. I am the great and powerful Mr. E.
And I'm Jay Clone. 63.
63. What were you staring at?
I'm looking for something, a number that I
okay.
can remember by the end, but I didn't find one. So 63.
And this is not going to be a shock to anybody that's been a long-time listener. But the phenomena we're going to talk about today is one I have mispronounced forever.
No way.
Yeah, so mispronunciations,
Never.
never
Those
on
don't
this
exist
show.
on this show.
And there'll be plenty in this one.
No, never.
Like Cholua-lua.
That sounded close.
Cholua-alua?
No, you were right the first time.
Cholua-alua?
Yeah.
Anyways, the Marfa lights.
The what?
Marfa.
Marfa lights.
The Marfa lights.
It's not the, what were we saying?
Martha.
Martha lights?
Yes.
Marfa?
Marfa.
With an F?
Yes.
M-A-R-F-A?
Yes.
Okay.
Of Texas. Makes sense because the town's Marfa, Texas.
How do we screw that up?
Well, I've never seen it spelled before. I've heard it and seen it on shows. You know, they talk about Marfa lights and stuff like that. So you say Marfa.
Yeah, because Marfa don't sound right.
It is. So that was the one. It's located within the Cholua-alua Desert of the northeastern Pariso County in far west Texas. Is the dusty town of Marfa.
Oh.
Founded as a water stop in the 1880s, Marfa sits like an oasis surrounded by sprawling, desolate desert.
A little, oasis in the desert.
And so why we're doing this right now is at the end of this episode, we'll talk about it. There's a really cool tourist thing about this town that I did not know about. I knew about the Marfa lights forever. Didn't know about this tourist thing. And a non-paranormal friend was just there.
Okay.
And did the whole tourist stop and everything, and it was amazing.
Wow, okay.
They're not connected. They're connected through biology, not through
Right.
the paranormal
The
aspect.
the other side.
And they just sent me videos and stuff like that. And apparently it was amazing.
Oh, wow.
So this definitely, I've never been to that side of Texas. I've never been that far west into Texas.
Yeah, me either.
I've been in the Pine Curtain, the Pine Curtain a lot,
Is that near the cane breaks?
where it used to be.
Oh, okay.
Now they call it the Pine Curtain, the big forested side of Texas, the east side. It's just the east side before you get to the big cities.
Okay.
Like towards Louisiana and Arkansas.
Right, yeah.
Forest, swamps, water.
Makes sense.
And then I've been up through the Oklahoma-Texas border, like the top part a little bit on the Trinity River system.
Yeah.
And then I've never been any farther than that.
Yeah, but I've only been to Dallas-Fort Worth. Flying in. Connecting flights.
Oh, because we didn't go to Texas this last trip down. We weren't even close.
No. Arkansas?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in northern Arkansas.
Yeah. But
So-
in Central.
Northern Central. We still had quite a ways to go
6 hours.
to get to Texas, yeah. Longer than I wanted to be in the car.
So Marfa is like an oasis in the sprawling desert. Despite its inhospitable location, it's become sort of a center of minimalistic art, as well as known for galleries, artisan shops, and historical architecture. Yet the town has become famous for something else. And out in the desert badlands, the long has been a mystery. Possible paranormal lights show and have never really been explained. So the Marfa lights are incredibly famous. This spot, they are seen, which we'll talk about constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody has ever been. There's been dozens of teams of scientists that have gone down here. Paranormal, what do you call mediums? Have try to connect with them.
Okay.
UFO investigators.
And no one's got an explanation?
Yeah, and no rhyme or reason. They don't respond to just like stuff all the time. It's really weird. But we'll talk about it. You have the Marfa lights typically appear as orbs of light about the size of basketballs. They materialize out of the desert wastelands on Mitchell Flat, looking towards the Chitlanta Mountains. They hover, fly, and dance around the night before vanishing. They come in many colors, including white, yellow, pink, blue, and red. They can be very faint or extremely bright. They can be steadily illuminating. They can be twinkling, flickering, in and out. So a huge variety
of different, yes.
And the friend that I just had went, they, not to spoil it, had filmed them.
They filmed the lights?
Yeah, they actually got to see the lights.
Oh, okay.
So they only seen 2 the whole time they were there.
Yeah.
And the one came in and it just kind of floated like a down and kind of like a snaking pattern. And then it started getting dim, flickered out, and then flickered back on and flickered out.
Like, did it fly like a bubble would float through the air?
Kind of, or more like a giant firefly.
Oh, okay.
That
Just
kind of
dance around.
motion.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they're trying to attract mates and stuff like that.
No rhyme or reason. They just kind of.
They're subject to the wind and stuff like that, but they're trying to sit and flash their lights.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So they come in many colors too, which I find fascinating. Bright and faint. There's not a whole lot of rhyme or reason, and you can see multiple colors at one time.
Would there happen to be any swamps in the area?
You know what? This part of the Chihuahua Desert.
Yeah.
In the mountains.
Yeah.
And one of the driest places in the country.
Right.
There actually is a swamp that sits right below on Mitchell's Flats.
Knew it. Swamp gas.
Yeah, there's no swamp.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no swamp.
Okay, I guess we'll rule it. No, there could be an underground ancient swamp.
If you dig deep enough,
petrified ancient.
You may hit a swamp on the other side of the planet.
With petrified gas still in it.
Petrified gas.
Yep. And they're just slowly, I don't know.
I think they call those rocks.
Petrified gas?
Mm-hmm.
Holes in the ground?
So the lights feature a wide range of movements and behaviors, either flying in a straight line, bobbing up and down, darting erratically, doing aerial acrobatics, accelerating and decelerating, and even merging together to form larger orbs, disappearing or reappearing. So they've been seen like slamming into each other and making one big orb, and they've been seen pulled apart to make 2 separate orbs.
Like bubbles.
Yeah. These are bubbles. They sometimes move very slowly, and at other times hovering stationary for long periods of time. Other occasions traveling at great speeds, and often above all of it. One local by the name of James Barnell has said this of the Marfa lights. You might just see mysterious orbs of light suddenly appear above the desert foliage. These balls of light have remained stationary as they pulse on and off, with intensity varying from dim to almost blindingly brilliant. Then again, these ghostly lights may dart across the desert and perform splits and merges. Light colors are usually yellow, orange, but other hues, including green, blue, red, have also been seen. Marfa's mysterious lights usually fly above the desert vegetation and below the background of the mesa. So that's what he's saying is kind of the little area they fly in.
Okay.
And I've seen videos, and everybody at home, I highly suggest this. Just YouTube it. There are thousands of videos of the Marfa lights.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't like, there's very reminiscent of the Brown Mountain lights, or it's not an every night kind of thing.
Okay.
But if you go, you have a pretty high chance of seeing these things.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what they are. I really don't have a good idea. Normally at these episodes, I try to have something towards the end.
Oh, don't worry. I'll enlighten you.
I can't wait. Because the amount of research on both the paranormal side and the scientific community that have dived into this and really found nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems if you go out there, they don't appear.
Okay.
Whatever these things are, whenever you go, if you want to be an observer,
yeah,
they're fine. If you want to go poke and prod,
And measure.
they do not like it.
The
Whether it's the
observer
measuring,
effect.
whether it's the measuring effect or you're just violating some invisible boundary.
Invisible code.
Yeah.
Unwritten law.
Lights also don't seem to follow any rhyme or reason for their appearance, emerging all times of the year and all kinds of weather. They have baffled people for a long time. They've been seen to emerge in the middle of thunderstorms and desert, like windstorms. They've been seen. What people think they emerge during the day too, you just can't really see them.
Which makes sense.
You know, it's bright out. It's the desert.
Yeah.
But people claim there's a couple videos you can see. It almost looks like something
Yeah.
bouncing back and forth and, darting them around. Although the Native Americans have long known of the lights, perhaps the first written historical account, so the Native Americans knew about them forever, right? The Native Americans area. First historical account came from settlers in the area in 1883. A rancher named Robert Reed Ellis reported a group of glowing orbs as he drove his cattle through the pass. He assumed that they were Apache campfires, but no evidence that any fires or campsites were found the following day.
Okay.
So he assumed that it was, Native Americans up there having fires on the side of this cliff.
Right.
Does it sound like anything else?
Slide rock bolters?
It does.
Mm.
Slide rock bolters.
Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah, it actually was.
Oh, okay.
Just the campfires on the sides of cliffs.
Mountains, yeah. I did think of that.
After that, more and more people began reporting mysterious lights. And over the decades, many sightings during World War II, and even air search was conducted by pilots in the nearby Midland Air Force Army field. The Midland Army Airfield. I dyslexiated it up. To find the source of the lights, and they came back empty-handed. So the U.S. military has dived into these on dozens of occasions and came up empty. When they've seen them pop up,
Yeah.
they have flown fighter jets and everything to them to try to intercept them. Never can catch them.
Right, they're gone. Yeah. So if the military says they can't figure this out, I totally trust them. They definitely have no idea.
Or out there with butterfly nets, just
Yeah.
come here, come here,
That would be funny.
come here.
I'd pay to see that.
On one such occasion, there's been reports of lights seeming to show some sort of intelligence, sometimes coming closer as if out of curiosity and seeming to investigate certain areas.
Okay.
They react to sound. There are even stories of people who have lost in the desert and have been led to safety by the lights.
Whoa.
There's been a couple stories of that where people have said, like, they've gotten lost out there.
Yeah.
And if they follow the light, they'll get back to a road or something.
Isn't that how the three wise men found Jesus?
Kind of.
Yeah, it was a Marfa light.
It was a Marfa light.
That's quite a different telling in the story.
That is a little bit of a simplification. Awful.
I know. I mean, it's funny, though. I mean, it's just a Marfa light all along.
So it's actually, remember the Min Min lights from Australia?
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite.
Because those are bad.
Yeah, they warn you, do not, well, I don't know if they're necessarily bad or good.
But it never ends
you
well.
do not follow them.
Right, yeah.
You do not follow them.
It's a trick.
There have been numerous theories of what the lights may be. One is some sort of atmospheric phenomena. In particular, one called Feta Morgora,
Okay, what's that?
which is an optical illusion that causes faraway objects to appear closer and distorted through light passing through the air layers of different temperatures and steep thermal inclusions. So basically what this is, there's layers of warm air after it goes dark. There's layers of warm air coming off the desert rocks
Yeah.
with layers of cooling air trying to come down.
Okay.
Because warm air wants to rise, cool
Right.
air wants to dive down. So this is creating some sort of optical illusion where these layers are kind of skimming together. But there's a whole bunch of these layers stacked on top of each other. When it's big fronts,
Yeah.
it's like tornadoes and stuff like that. This is dozens of these little layers like laying next to each other.
I can picture it in my head, but how does that make light?
Just like, it's more of the optical illusion of it refracting other light sources.
Okay.
So it's just causing enough disturbances in the air to cause weird appearances.
Right. Maybe catch light in weird ways.
Yeah. I personally don't buy it
No, I mean,
because you would see it in other places in the desert.
Yeah, true. Yeah, nothing makes this one specifically special for heat loss or heat whatever.
But it is an idea that gets put out there a lot.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you got to put all ideas out
But if
there.
you go another 20 miles to the same kind of rock formation, you don't see these lights.
Not do it.
It's odd.
But isn't that the same effect that a mirage is? Isn't that the same thing?
Kind of, yeah.
Where
The
you're
heat
seeing
waves coming up, yeah.
Yeah, just looks
Your
like
brain doesn't know how to process it, so it just makes it look like water.
water, yeah, which it does.
Another idea that these are a similar distorted lights from car headlights on the nearby Highway 67.
Oh, come on.
They made it look fuzzy, and their waving lights scattered due to the air being unevenly heated by the ground. So, like you were just saying, the distortion, basically the mirage effect,
Right.
with the
Car headlights. on
behind it.
Yeah, on the highway, but come on.
But this would not explain why they're most often seen well away from the highway, why they disappear in erratic and abundant movements,
Right.
why there's many different appearances, and how they could be seen as far back as 1883, as we have proof of, and even before that by the Native Americans.
Well, they had cars too, right, with headlights?
Yes.
Okay, so no wonder why they seen it.
Other ideas include static electricity produced by geological activity.
I wonder if static electricity can happen in different air temperatures.
So that's what lightning is.
Yeah, okay.
That's water, basically simplification, everybody. This is simplification. Water molecules rubbing up against each other, creating a static charge. When it builds up too much, it has to go somewhere.
But it interacts with them with the ground.
Yeah, that's when
Earth.
it's when the different, basically the negative and the positive are just trying to
touch.
And
okay. Well, Mr. Lusk always told us that lightning comes from the ground.
it starts, so you can actually see whatever the negative or the positive end forming on the ground. So yes, it does start from the ground, but the big power sources are coming from the cloud.
That was the only time I ever questioned that man.
No, he's right. You can
I
see
know.
it in like where they make the lightning labs,
Okay.
because you can watch
Well, that's
it on
different.
the electromagnetic graphs.
Yeah.
Because you can see this like pyramid forming on the ground of electric energy.
So you should be able to at least see that or feel that before you get struck by
Most
lightning.
people do.
Wow.
You ever seen that? People will see like their hair will stand up on end and stuff like that before they get hit, and they'll like dive away from that spot.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, you feel tingly.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's scary. Well, good to know.
But so it could be some kind of static generator.
Yeah.
Once again, I think you would see it in more places in the desert.
Probably, unless just some reason maybe the humidity is just right here.
Ball lightning is one that gets thrown in a lot, which is just describing a phenomena with a phenomena.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows what ball lightning is. The scientific community would not believe in ball lightning if and I keep forgetting what the name of it, that the guy that studies lightning for a living, seen one time when he was jogging at the track.
Right, yeah.
The track, I don't know, the track around, what do you call it? It's a track.
Yeah, it's just a track.
I
Track
thought there was
around a
another
football
word.
field?
Yeah.
Just the track.
Okay.
That's what I always call it.
But if he would not have seen it, probably nobody in the scientific community would have taken it seriously.
Yeah.
But he seen it, he just didn't know what it was, but it was this big ball, and he could see like either arcs of electricity or plasma
Coming off it.
But he said it walked like a person.
Yeah, there's something weird going on.
Yeah.
That may not have been ball lightning.
Well, it could be ball lightning, whatever ball lightning is. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. I don't think it's necessarily lightning.
Gotcha.
I think it's just the name that was given to it a long time ago.
Right, yeah.
Illuminated gases from a natural gas reserve for other petroleum hydrocarbons in the area, mostly from swamps.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. This is 99% it.
I added the swamps bit, but
I figured.
like leaking gases. Texas is full of natural resource,
Oil.
gas and oil.
Yeah.
So maybe it's something like that.
Oil swamps.
You ever seen the pillars of light that come from underground?
I have not, but we've talked about it.
I have seen them several times in my life, and they are scary
I've never seen it.
because you hear the boom first.
Yeah.
But it's literally ice, these giant forms of ice form underground under compression. Water does not like to be compressed.
Yeah.
Ice does not like to be compressed.
Mhm.
So
it expands.
so it burst, this huge boom, and then there's a pillar of light comes out of the ground because it's producing energies. It's terrifying. It looks like demons are coming for you.
What's the light? It's a energy trapped, the light energy of beings trapped within the water.
UFOs are blamed a lot. Western ghosts are blamed a lot too.
Western ghosts?
Yeah, like some of the Western ghost stories, whether these are travelers that were killed by Native Americans that were killed by settlers.
So Western, like the Old West.
Yeah, like the Old West. Like
not
whether
like
these were
Western civilization.
Gunslingers or guides or all of it.
Yeah. Well, this is the place they all go.
And nobody knows.
That's the last explanation?
Yeah, nobody knows. Nobody has any idea. like I said, there's been dozens of scientific studies, hundreds of paranormal studies.
What's the geological makeup of this area? How much quartz is in the ground?
8%.
Oh, now that's an interesting number. You know why? Because if you have 8% quartz and a 42% silica-based, I'm making stuff up.
I'm aware. I'm 100% aware.
I was going to go into a long tangent, but I didn't know where it was going. Just cut it off at the head.
I was going to let you talk.
Yeah, I know. That's why I stopped.
No, I don't know the ground makeup. It's as far as I did. This is a Wednesday episode, but I did a little bit of research into it. See,
I knew we'd find out in real time.
We'd find out in real time. No, so there's nothing odd about it, really, as far as comparative desert biome like next to it.
Yeah.
There's not a huge, even on the map. So we've talked about it previous, like geological, so electromagnetic anomalies and gravitational anomalies. The area seems to be still pretty normal.
Okay, it's not like Uinta Basin.
Which, gosh, if you guys haven't listened to the geological or the electromagnetic and the gravitational anomalies you went to, it's insane. NASA, I mean, there's still NASA placards out there because they couldn't figure it out.
Weird stuff.
Turning cows inside out.
Right, yeah. Moving not tankers, containers.
Yeah.
Container, what do you call this?
No, it's shipping containers.
Shipping containers, yeah.
Floating on the air like in the breeze.
Right, yep.
And turning cows inside out.
Yep. And stuffing cows into trailers.
That did happen.
Yes.
So,
bulls. Not even cows, bulls.
We'll come back to what we think the Marfa lights could be.
Marfa.
What'd I say?
Marfa.
Yeah. What the Marfa lights could be. But I want to talk about the town for a minute.
Marfa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the town has doubled down.
On the lights?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Marfa has embraced the lights and sought to turn them into a tourist attraction. There is an amazing roadside parking areas 9 miles east of Marfa on U.S. Highway 90, specifically built for passing motorists to view the curiosity phenomena. Like literally, that's where my acquaintance was.
Hold over.
Yeah, but it's not like a truck stop, right?
Yeah.
There's a beautiful viewing area built. There was dozens of people out there just sitting to see the Marfa lights. It's really cool looking. This area they built.
Yeah.
They put care into it. It's not just a couple picnic tables on the side of a road stop.
Like you see at I picture in my head driving through Tennessee when you go through like the state forest on the side of the road.
Yeah, and they have those viewing areas and stuff.
Where you see the mountains.
The building they built is really pretty. I mean, and the viewing area is really, it's nice size. It's comfy. There's a lot of people out there. There's a bunch of signs telling, to turn off any lights possible so you can, if they're dim, you could see them.
Right.
And people see them, I'm going to say more often than not.
Okay.
And I kind of just wonder if they're just too dim the other times. I wonder if it's an everyday phenomena and you just can't see them with the naked eye all the time.
Right. Or if it just moves around just enough.
Or it's below the tree line.
Yeah.
Or if it's above the flat, the mesa, you may not be able to see it on the lighter background.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, who knows?
So they've doubled down. They built this tourist hotspot, complete with a Marfa Light viewing platform. There is also an annual Marfa Lights festival that features live music, food, and a parade.
That's pretty cool.
It's like a little small town festival. I'd love to go if I was ever in the area during it. Because it looks like it's just fun that the whole town's like, everybody's seen
They
them.
embrace it.
Yeah. Nobody knows. There are some strange, scary stuff. The Marfa Lights, like it's the Desert Stranger. Like we've talked about that phenomenon. I think that may have been Patreon, where like the one that comes into the church, tells them they're all going to hell, and then burns the church down with everybody inside it.
Gotcha.
Like the Desert Stranger kind of scariness.
Yeah, not good.
Well, he may have been good because the people may have been bad.
Yeah, may have been.
We talked about that. That may have been a satanic cult.
May have been.
May have been. We never know because they all burned in a church alive.
They're all dead.
It's hard to ask witnesses.
I guess so.
There's no survivors.
Oh, no, that's not true. The Pope did it.
Our Pope did it, not the Pope.
Well, when you are a Pope, you are the Pope. For that era.
Gosh, I don't even know which Pope that was.
I don't know either. But
he's talking about the Pope that dug up another Pope to put him on trial after he was dead.
And then confirmed his guiltiness.
Yeah, I don't even remember what he was guilty of.
Who knows?
Anyways, the Marfa Lights, really cool. Really, so we could talk about, what do you think they are?
My first thought was whatever the ball lightning phenomena is, but
yeah,
I don't know for sure. Especially it's so reoccurring. I don't know.
It's very often, like I said, I think it happens more often than not from just the sheer number of videos, and then the town / the state put in an extremely nice viewing area. So it was seen enough. Like they literally did. So they did research into where to put the viewing platform.
Yeah.
Where you could see the lights from the best view. These people that were planning this literally stood out there 2 months in a row at night, and we're like, okay, 90% of the lights were in this area.
Right.
Tonight. Yeah. 80% of the lights were in this, and then so months of planning. And from all the people I've seen, all the reviews and stuff that people that have gone to it, it's amazing. Like the viewing platform, it's just really cool to have something like that built for a phenomena.
Right.
And you can see it.
And you can actually see it. Drive up to it and see it.
And I think it's just weird that how some people just treat it as that there's no mystery left in the world.
Right. And here's this one.
Yeah,
there's no explanation for it, and there's a spot built for you to go observe it. The state of Texas
built a viewing platform to watch a phenomena that nobody can explain.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked a little bit into some of the electromagnetic phenomena.
Mm-hmm.
There's been no real strange readings or nothing like that.
Okay.
Nothing out of the ordinary. Like people, I don't know, have you ever seen like I'm going to mess up what these are called.
Oh.
But it's like an on-air voltmeter where you ever seen like a telephone or a power line arcing to the ground?
Okay.
It'll show you that in it if you can't see it with the naked eye.
Mm.
It basically views the electromagnetic spectrum.
Okay.
So it's just a camera that does that to show you think of thermal.
Right,
but for electricity.
I've never seen that before, I don't think.
It's for electricians that are dealing with extremely high voltage stuff that if you touch it, you're going to die.
Interesting.
Like in factories and in power systems and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, I can see
that. To
that.
where if there's a wire that's bare
Shoot.
and you touch this piece of metal.
At the plastic factory, most of the stuff's run off 440.
Yeah.
Yeah, scary. No thanks.
220, I think, is the highest I've ever been shocked with.
Oh, you got hit by that? Oh.
It was in the garage when we first moved in.
Ooh, had to hurt.
I think it was 220. It was a welding plug.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's 220. Yep. Oh, yeah.
I just remember I was blinking really fast, and I couldn't move.
Oh, because you were dying.
Well, it didn't hurt, and then finally my legs gave out and I fell because it was on the ceiling.
Oh
it was hanging from the ceiling.
Oh, my gosh.
And then my teeth were bleeding, and I was in so much pain.
You must have some kind of resistance to electricity. I know my dad does. Like where it doesn't actually hurt you like it should.
Yeah.
I mean, it hurts, obviously, but it doesn't kill you like it should.
I've been electrocuted many times.
That's what I'm saying. And my dad, he's grabbed onto a hot 110 and it doesn't.
You know what? It's because when we were kids, my dad kept turning on the electric fence when we were working on it.
Ah, there you go. Built up an immunity.
Yeah, he kept shocking us. You listen to this, Dad? I remember.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'd do it. Atlas wouldn't care.
Never mind. Put it up on your baby gate.
Yeah, he wouldn't care.
I think he would after a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd get mad.
Yeah.
It's not going to stop him. He'd be like, all right, I got to throw something over top of it.
Uppy?
No, so yeah, I don't know what the Marfa lights are. I kind of lean towards how do I put this? An ununderstood
natural
phenomena.
Yeah, that's more or less what I'm leaning. Unless it's like you didn't even mention atmospheric creatures. This could just be the breeding ground where they're swarming.
I don't think it is personally, because I think they just have, I don't know, a little bit more of a non-tangential nature to them. You can't touch them.
Atmospheric electromagnetic creatures.
Now, we've talked about that a few times, where things that are, a type of life that literally lives in an electromagnetic field in Earth.
See, and this is a big breeding ground for them.
Sure.
They all meet here like the eels in Sargasso Sea.
There you go.
And when they get all excited and they're doing their courting rituals, they light up.
Yeah.
They flash. They show off. That's what it is. Someone should track them and see if it's they're making courtship mating patterns.
You just remind me of like the shadow in the cave kind of theory when it comes to this stuff.
Okay.
Because Emily was playing with the girls last night, and it was dark, and she had her phone light on, and they were looking at her shadow on the wall.
Yeah.
And they were freaking out.
I can only imagine.
But, so think of that. So that's a three-dimensional creature casting a two-dimensional shadow.
Yeah.
So the theory goes with like four-dimensional creatures casting a three-dimensional shadow.
Okay.
So this could be just a shadow.
A sliver of what?
Of a four-dimensional being.
Yeah. See?
or like, energy beings or anything. So I guess what I'm getting at, that we're just getting a piece.
A remnant.
Yeah.
Told you I'd enlighten you.
Yeah. And then the military strikes on these things, or not strikes, but the trying to
Pursuit.
have an encounter with these things.
Yeah.
And they just, unlike a lot of other UFOs or even other phenomena, they just don't seem confrontational. They don't seem to want to interact.
Or maybe because they're not physical.
Yeah. But I mean, even like you look at Uinta Basin and stuff like that.
Right.
Those things would run into things. Those things would cause effects. They turn their orbs turn the dogs inside out into heating piles of mush.
Physical things.
These things just, if you're at a distance and want to observe, they're fine. You get close, they turn off.
They disappear. Trying to think, what's that remind me of?
Kind of the Brown Mountain Lights.
Yeah, I'm thinking more, I'm trying to think, I don't know, like one of the hidden picture things. But like as you get closer to it, things disappear or go away. I don't know. Weird.
Well, I think it's some ununderstood natural phenomena where I don't think there's an actual intelligence there. It may be just like we've talked about, static electricity of some kind to some underground formation that we don't know about.
Right.
It could be some atmospheric thing where this is just happens to be where static builds up for other reasons.
Mm-hmm. It could be swamp gas.
It could be swamp gas from a swamp about 2,700 miles away.
Or ancient swamp 2,700 years away.
There we go.
Yeah.
A future swamp.
Oh, I was thinking more in the past.
I was thinking of a swamp in the future will be there.
Oh,
so its gas permeates time.
Right. Goes back in time. Well, if someone should make a little time capsule and bury it out there and say, open in year 4000, because that'll be relative.
So if you're traveling through Marfa, Texas this year, stay the night. Go out there to the observation platform. You won't be alone. As far as, I don't think it's ever super crowded. But from the people I've watched, there's always like half a dozen to a dozen people out there.
Well, who doesn't want to see the lights?
Yeah, and it's like a motorist thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a rest stop. It's a normal rest stop plus this platform and viewing area with seats and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always, half a dozen people sitting back there that are real excited to see the lights too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they seem to appear more often than not.
Yeah.
But a little bit of a better track record than the Brown Mountain Lights.
I do know if I'm ever in this area, I'm going to stop.
Yeah, you got to spend the
100%.
night. Yeah.
Yeah. Have to. Hopefully you hit it in the middle of the night when you're driving.
Well, maybe we'll just go to the Marfa Light Festival.
There we
next year.
go. Yeah.
Be vendors, maybe speakers.
Oh, yeah. We'll speak at it.
All right. I have been the great and powerful mystery.
And I've been JClone63.
We'll catch you next week, guys.
Bye.
Hey guys, thank you for listening to Cryptids the Corn podcast. Remember, the best way to support the show is share it with a friend. But if you are craving more of the J clones
And more from Mr. E.
there's always extra content on Patreon.
And our paid member space on cryptidsofthecorn.com.
We'll catch you next time with more exciting, fun, and informative information. Bye.